They say the most powerful lessons in life don't come from money or privilege, but from unexpected encounters that challenge how we see the world. Sometimes, what begins as a misunderstanding becomes a turning point for everyone involved. This is one of those stories. A story about a homeless girl, a billionaire's daughter, and a moment in the park that would change their lives forever. It was a quiet Saturday afternoon in New York, City's Central Park. Autumn had laid a golden blanket of leaves across the ground. Laughter echoed from the playground nearby, but just off to the side, alone on a bench, sat a young girl. She looked no older than 15. Her hair was pulled into a neat puff, though her clothes were clearly worn and faded. Her shoes had holes at the toes, and a torn backpack rested beside her feet. She sat still, scribbling into a battered notebook, her lips silently forming words as she wrote. Her name was Amara. Amara had been homeless for nearly a year. After her mother died unexpectedly, the foster homes she was shuffled into never lasted. Some were cruel, others simply didn't care. Eventually she ran away. Since then she had survived on library books, handouts, and her own fierce determination to stay in school, even if unofficially. Her dream was to become a teacher. She believed that if she could teach others to find light, she might find her own way out of the dark. Across the park, a little girl with golden curls and wide eyes was wandering toward her. Her name was Lily. She was 7 years old, full of curiosity and completely unafraid. She had spotted Amara from a distance and noticed her writing. Something about the way she sat with such focus catching her attention. "Hi," Lily said, softly. Peeking around the bench, Amara looked up, startled but not unkindly. "Hi," she replied. "What are you writing?" Amara hesitated, then held up the notebook. "Just learning stuff. Notes, poems, random things." "You write poems?" Lily's eyes sparkled. "Sometimes. Do you want to hear one?" The little girl nodded eagerly and sat beside her. Amara cleared her throat and read a short poem about the stars, how they shine even when no one sees them. Lily clapped when she finished. "That was beautiful," she said. "Can you teach me how to write one?" So, for the next half hour, Amara and Lily sat on that bench together. Amara explained simple rhyme, how to describe feelings with colors, and nature, how to find magic in ordinary things. They laughed, they scribbled, they read together, but neither of them noticed the tall man approaching. He wore a dark coat and walked with purpose, his eyes locked onto Lily. His name was Daniel Carter, a billionaire, tech entrepreneur, and Lily's father. When he finally spotted her sitting beside a homeless teen, his face darkened. He quickened his pace. "Lily," he barked. Lily jumped. Amara sat up straighter. "What are you doing?" he demanded, pulling his daughter toward him. "Why are you talking to this girl?" "She was teaching me poems, Daddy," Lily said. "She's really smart." Daniel turned to Amara with suspicion. "Who are you? Why are you talking to my daughter?" Amara stood slowly, her hands raised slightly. "I didn't mean any harm. She came over to me." "You expect me to believe that? You're out here alone. No family, no supervision." "I didn't ask for anything, sir," she said, swallowing the lump in her throat. "She just wanted to learn," he scoffed. "Right, and I'm sure you just happen to have a notebook full of wisdom to share." "Daddy, please, she's really kind," Lily whispered. Daniel took a long look at Amara. His expression softened just a bit. Maybe it was the way she looked at him, not with anger, but exhaustion. Maybe it was the notebook in her hand, covered in worn-out pages filled with careful notes. He sighed. "What were you teaching her about the stars?" Amara said, quietly, "and how to write poems." "Stars?" he asked, folding his arms. Double quotes. "Yes. Do you want to hear what I told her?" There was something in her tone, calm, patient, yet tired, that made him nod. So Amara explained. She spoke about constellations, how ancient people used stars to guide their way, how they wrote stories about them in the sky. She talked about the science, the myth, the poetry. For a few minutes Daniel forgot everything else and just listened. When she finished, he cleared his throat. "Where are your parents?" "I don't have any," she said. "Do you live on the streets?" She hesitated. "I live wherever I can stay safe. Shelters, sometimes behind the library." There was silence. Then Lily said, "Can she come with us, Daddy?" Daniel was about to say no, but then he looked at Amara again, this girl who had nothing, who had every reason to be angry at the world, and yet chose to teach a child instead. "You need food?" he asked. Amara blinked. "I mean, yes, but I don't take charity." "I'm not offering charity. I'm offering a job." She stared at him. "My daughter clearly likes you. You seem to have a way with words. If you're willing, I'd like to hire you as her tutor. I'll pay you properly. You'll have a safe place." To stay, you can keep learning. Go back to school. No strings. Amara said nothing. Her mind raced. Could this be real? Was this man serious? I don't know what to say, she whispered. Say yes, Lily grinned. So she did. That night, Amara, who had her first warm meal in weeks, she slept in a real bed. And for the first time in a long time, she felt like maybe, just maybe, she wasn't invisible. Over the next several months, Amara became more than a tutor. She became Lily's friend, mentor, and sister figure. But something else happened too. Daniel began to change. He started coming home earlier, asking Amara questions, sometimes listening in on the lessons. One evening, he even joined them for a storytelling session. For the first time since his wife died, he smiled without forcing it. Amara blossomed with Daniel's help. She enrolled in an online high school program and began catching up fast. She wrote essays, won scholarships, and even gave a speech at a local youth event about surviving foster care and the importance of education. Her story started to get attention. One day she sat across from Daniel in the kitchen. I want to open a center, she said, for kids like me who fall through the cracks. A place where they can learn and feel safe. Daniel didn't hesitate. Let's make it happen. With his backing and her vision, Starlight House was born, a non-profit tutoring and resource center in the heart of the city. Built from Amara's dream and Daniel's support, she ran it with passion, teaching by example, showing every child that their past didn't have to define their future. And Lily, she grew up grounded, kind, and brilliant, thanks in part to the girl her father once tried to chase away. News of their story eventually made headlines, but it wasn't the fame that mattered. What mattered was that one act of kindness, one decision not to turn away, had changed 3 lives forever. Because sometimes, the richest people in the world aren't the ones with money, but the ones who give others a chance to shine. And sometimes, the brightest stars are the ones nobody sees until someone finally looks up.